All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our NBA video here today for Thursday, March 25th. My name is Brock Page and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. We're also coming off a winning 3-2 day in our 5 premium sports picks on my Patreon website. That's going to improve our record to 3-1 in our last 4 board member tier package picks. It's also going to put us at 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily picks on that Patreon website as well. And if you want to join the 1,400 members who are currently signed up and active on that page, link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and dive into some NBA action, kind of a shorter modified slate, but a couple, interesting matchups here. So let's go ahead and begin with the Blazers taking on the Heat, 7:30 p.m. Eastern tip-off in South Beach. Now, the Miami Heat's minus 3.5, totals 221 juice to the over. And if you like Portland in an upset on the road here this evening, they're plus $1.30 on the money line. Now, the Blazers have won 6 out of their last 10 ball games, 60% against the number in their contests on the road. Portland currently finds themselves 7 games above 500. And they also rank in the top 5 in the league in road scoring. Damian Lillard is dropping over 30 points a game for the Blazers, 4 rebounds, 7 assists for the all-star point guard. Meanwhile, Gary Trent Jr. is scoring 15 points a night himself, along with a couple of rebounds. The Blazers average over 115 points a game when they travel. They're also draining nearly 40% of their three-pointers in that same category. They're taking on a Miami squad who's smack dab right in the middle of a 4-game losing streak, just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. Now, Haslam and Opala are out. Dragic and Bradley are questionable. Miami's in the bottom 5 in the NBA in scoring on average per contest, bottom 3 in shooting the 3-ball. The Heat scoring just 106 points per contest. And when it comes to the total in this one, Miami actually did go 4-1 to the over in their last 5 meetings with Portland. They also saw a contest with Indiana, Cleveland, and Orlando get over the total recently as well. Meanwhile, the Blazers on the other side of things, they saw 5 out of their last 9 get over the number themselves, 11-9 to the over when they travel. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Portland Trailblazers plus 3.5 and the over 221. Next ball game, it is going to be Wizards versus the Knicks, 7:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Now, this line is all over the place at different shops. I've seen it at Knicks minus 3.5 in some places. I saw it Knicks minus 4 in other places. I even saw it as high as New York minus 6. And this was all at the same time this morning. So I was super confused. Obviously, I went with the best line. And I'm going to go with Bovada's line, and that has New York at minus 3 with the total at 224.5. Now, the Knicks have won 2 out of their last 3, but even more impressive, these guys have gone 70% against the number in their last 10. Julius Randle scoring 23 points a game along with 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Meanwhile, R.J. Barrett scoring over 17 a night himself, 6 rebounds, 3 assists for the shooting guard. The Knicks are 13-8 straight up at Madison Square Garden, and they cover 62% of those home games. They're also first in the NBA defensively in points allowed, and they're also first in the league in defending the 3-ball. They're taking on a Washington team who's in the bottom 5 offensively in shooting the 3-ball themselves. They've also been victorious in just 7 of 20 road games. Now, in addition to that, Washington has lost 9 out of their last 11 ball games, and they rank dead last in the league in points allowed. Washington gives up over 120 points per contest. Now, total-wise, Washington saw 2 out of their last 4 stay under the number, 12-8 to the under this season when they travel. Meanwhile, the Knicks saw 3 out of their last 4 stay under the total themselves, 26-18 to the under for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward the New York Knicks minus 3.5. Did I say minus 3 at the beginning of the show? Or minus 3.5? I don't know. So confused on the line in this one. We'll go Knicks minus 3.5 and the under 224 and a hook. All right, next ball game, it is going to be Clippers, Spurs, 8:30 East. The LA Clippers are -6 with the total at 222. Now, LA's on a 3-game winning streak, 5-2 against the number in their last 7. And despite the absence of Ibaka and Beverly, Kawhi Leonard scoring over 25.5 points a night, 6 rebounds, 4 assists for the NBA champ. Meanwhile, Paul George is averaging 22 a game along with 6 boards and 5 assists as well. The Clippers lead the NBA in three-point percentage and foul shooting. They're making nearly 43% of their three-pointers when they travel, and they're also scoring over 115 points per contest. They're taking on a Spurs team who's going to have to go to work here tonight without Rudy Gay, Lonnie Walker, and Bates Diop all rolled out for tonight's contest. Now, the Spurs have won just 10 of 22 on their home court this season, and they currently find themselves in the middle of a 3-game skid. San Antonio is in the bottom 10 in scoring on average per contest, bottom 3 in defensive rebounding. The Spurs are scoring just 108 points per contest at the AT&T Center. Now, total-wise, 3 out of the Spurs' last 4 did get over the number. Clippers are 2-0 to the over in their last couple of games themselves. LA is also 26-19 to the over through 45 ball games. I'm going to lean toward the Los Angeles Clippers -6 in the over 222. Next ball game, it is going to be Warriors versus the Kings, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Sacramento Kings are the 2.5-point favorite at home. Totals 227 flat. And if you like the Warriors in an upset on the road here, they're plus $1.25 for some money line cash. Now, Golden State's going to have to go to work here tonight again without Stephen Curry. He's currently battling a tailbone injury. He blew out his butthole. The Warriors are on a 2-game losing streak, and they also dropped 7 out of their last... Why did I say that? Anyway, the Warriors are on a 2-game losing streak, and they also dropped 7 out of their last 10. You know, I kind of thought out loud there. But anyway, Golden State is last in defensive rebounding, bottom 10 in road scoring. They've actually won just 9 of 23 away from the Chase Center, and they went just 30% against the number in their last 10, regardless of location. Now, they're taking on a Sacramento squad who won their last 2 straight, 4 months straight up in their last 5. The Kings are also 6-3 against the spread in their last 9. They rank in the top 10 in the league in scoring on average per contest. De'Aaron Fox is scoring 24 points a game for the Kings, 3 rebounds, 7 assists for the starting guard. Meanwhile, Buddy Hield is scoring nearly 17 a night himself, along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. The Kings are in the top 3 in offensive field goal percentage at home. And when it comes to the total on this one, 2 out of Sacramento's last 3 got over the number. 15-7 to the over at the Golden One Center. Meanwhile, the Warriors saw a contest with the Lakers, Jazz, and Clippers get over the line within the past couple of weeks themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Sacramento Kings -2.5 and the over 227. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup of the show. It is going to be Sixers versus the Lakers, 10 p.m. Eastern tip-off. The Philadelphia 76ers are -5.5, numbers 216 flat. And despite Joel Embiid being out of the lineup, we're still looking at a Philly squad who's on a 3-game winning streak, and they also won 9 out of their last 10. The Sixers currently lead the Bucks by 1.5 games for first place in the East. They also have the second best win percentage in the entire NBA, only behind Utah. The Sixers are in the top 10 in road points allowed, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage away from home. Tobias Harris is also scoring 20 points a night, along with 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons is dropping 16 points a game himself, 8 rebounds, 7 assists for the starting point guard. Now they're taking on a Laker team who's without LeBron, AD, and possibly Marc Gasol. The Lakers are currently on a 3-game losing streak, and they've successfully covered the number in only 10 of 23 home games. Los Angeles is currently in the bottom 10 in scoring on average per contest. They're also in the bottom 10 in shooting the 3-ball. Now, total-wise, LA saw 5 out of their last 9 get over the line. Meanwhile, the Sixers saw 5 out of their last 9 get over the total themselves, throwing out the Golden State game. I'm going to lean toward the Philadelphia 76ers -5.5 and the over 216. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, powered to you by my Patreon website. Give me Portland +3.5 over 221. New York Knicks minus 3.5 under 224 and a hook. LA Clippers minus 6 over 222. Sacramento Kings minus 2.5 over 227. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 3-1 in our last 4 board member tier package picks on my Patreon website. We're also a perfect 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily pick tier package plays on that Patreon page as well. I'm going to lean toward the Philadelphia 76ers minus 5.5 and the over 216. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some YouTube shout-outs to our top 10 YouTube commenters over the past couple of days or so. Shout out to Diz Mello, Fabulous Fab, Gerald Dela Cruz, Meek Pose, Zach Chaser, Tyrone Baker, Robert Scott, Matt McPeak, Hip Hop Connoisseur, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my good friend, Daniel Kaprowski. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday to you. Weekend's right around the corner. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my Patreon website at patreon.com/BrockPage.